Hello everyone, and welcome to the RangerRob Country Living channel. I'm RangerRob, and today I want to talk about beginner homesteading and beginner hydroponics. So as you can see, we haven't even been at this location for a year yet, getting close, and we've created hydroponic towers, regular conventional gardening, NFT hydroponics, raft hydroponics, and Dutch bucket systems. And it didn't happen overnight. It was one step at a time. Heck, we had to build a greenhouse first. But the point is, first of all, you always want to share what you've learned. And second, you'll be looking at a lot of Facebook groups and stuff like that. And well, we raised chickens too. Had to build that pen last summer. And you just do the best you can. Now, first of all, share what you've learned. Second of all, 90% of people are going to be wonderful and embrace you. And then there will be those anal people. Sorry, that just come along and tell you everything you're doing wrong. And I guarantee you, you will do things wrong. And even if someone tells you certain things, occasionally you gotta do what you think is right and fail a few times, or see it for yourself with your own two eyes. So we're in the greenhouse now. I created a Dutch bucket system, watched a lot of videos, few mistakes, nothing critical. Learned how to do a different kind of raising of my tomatoes. I've never done this before. Everybody else would just say, well, yeah, everybody does that. To me, it was brand new. My point is, try, just try. You can do it in a scale like this. To me, it feels large scale, but it's not compared to other systems. But take about 4 little buckets and do a little system in your backyard. You can do it in your house, do it in your garage. If you have a greenhouse, most likely you won't need lights. It all depends on what your budget is, what kind of facility you have, where you live. No, I am not growing marijuana. That is potatoes. Anyway, so I'm in here. I still water a few things by hand because I planted too much, and that's another lesson learned. But I want to urge you to try this. The Dutch bucket systems are amazing. That is only perlite that's in here. It's no dirt. Why did I use perlite? Well, after I've talked to a lot of people, it's important that your tomato plants, at least, get oxygen, and you don't want to saturate them. So if you use like coconut coir or vermiculite, that holds moisture and actually could cause root rot. So with perlite, it doesn't retain water. So my system comes on 4 times a day for about 15 minutes, waters the plants, and then it dries out. Now if it really needs a drink, at the bottom of a Dutch bucket there's about 2 inches of where water or nutrients stay. So the roots can work their way down, and they'll always have access to water if they need it. But you also want your roots not to rot, and giving them air. Vermiculite made the most sense to me after all the videos I watched. I've seen vermiculite and perlite mix. I would buy into that, but I decided to go with just perlite, and this is what I'll try this year. It may fail, but at least I tried, and that's what I'm urging you to try. Is you watch all these guys with these immaculate systems. Mine's not immaculate. I'm not the best engineer, but the point is, give it a try. So in here we got the Dutch bucket system with the returning water system, which is over there. This is the floating rafts, and I getting some lessons learned, especially with broccoli. But floating rafts are amazing. This is a raft, and here's what it looks like underneath here. That's a new plant. I should give you one. Look at the big old roots on there. You see that? Anyway, it's an amazing system. Look at this lettuce. This is iceberg lettuce, and it's just out of control. My peppers love it. These are pepper plants coming up. I just got them in here, so here's a couple other lettuces. They're just doing fantastic, and it's amazing. I've never been this good a gardener. And then my tomato plants are these are all jet stars and jet setters, with one exception. I have a beefsteak tomato at the end there. I bought that at the store because I wanted to see how well I could do a beef tomato. All my jet stars and my jet setters are going to be probably a little more than a medium tomato, and they were recommended by traditional Homestead channel. And it's like, all right, I'll get some jet stars. And by the way, getting jet stars was not that easy. So anyway, we'll see how jet stars do. Well, I planted too much too, by the way. So I've got all these extra plants in here, and I still have more. I have another 15 outside, and I still got a couple in the green room because I don't know why, but I'll give them out for gifts, or I'll get a lot of tomatoes and I'll give them to the community. And we're going to do a lot of canning this year. We haven't done that much canning. That's, again, being a beginner. Just do it. We've learned how to can a few things, but never canned tomatoes or tomato sauce or diced tomatoes, any of that stuff, or make our own spaghetti sauce. We're going to learn. And never done it before. We're going to learn. And I'm going to have plenty of tomatoes to experiment with. So if I mess up, no biggie. So all this was just a dream. This greenhouse, it's not the perfect greenhouse. I could have done things a lot better. But it is what it is, and it, by golly, is working pretty good. Now some people will come in here and go, wow, I can't believe you did that. Where others, and that's why I want to warn you, will come in and say everything I did wrong. And you know, I don't mind guidance, but there's people out there that just seem like they just love to stab at you. And if they got good advice, go for it. But if they're going to be rude, or they're going to belittle you or anything like that, they can go to you know where. This is a beginner. All this is a beginner. And I've made mistakes. I probably should have used black buckets. I could have done why would I have done broccoli the way I did? Some were successes, some were fails. But that's okay. Sherry made her first basket. Never made a basket before. And you know, there's things she'd probably do different next time, but that thing's gorgeous. How many baskets have you made? So anyway, that's what this video is about. This day and age, we're going to have food shortages, and things are tough, and Lord knows what the future brings. And it's really going to be important that we learn how to grow our own food. Just another thing here. Right here. I have never, ever grown corn before. Does that mean I shouldn't grow corn? Of course not. But I gotta try. Now, something might go wrong. Something might be, I didn't pick out a good, I'm using, this is candy corn. And it may or may not take. But at least I tried. And there's no one, you know, someone will probably scold me and say you're in the wrong region for that or something. It's like, hey, but I tried. And I'll try something different next time. But so far, I haven't failed. And these are NFT systems. You can't always get the same materials you see other people are using. In my region, I couldn't get a hold of larger PVC pipe, so I ended up using the ABS. A little more expensive, but I really wanted to do NFT, and I wanted to have an NFT with a trellis system, but I didn't want to waste the space, so I put an NFT on both sides. And I may regret that, but hey, it's my regret. Getting back to the point, guys, try this. I haven't given up on traditional growing. I've got regular tomatoes in potting soil. I've got my own Walla Walla onions growing. Not all of them took. Live and learn. And it's a hard onion to grow sometimes. And yeah, so the other thing I guess I thought was so attractive is I saw the towers. And I thought, what a way to learn how to grow. Now, I don't really have to do towers here, but I thought they were amazing. And so I built my own towers. I could have done my watering system a little better and prettier stuff, but I was just eager to try it. So I got 5 towers. This sets, sends nutrients to my plants once a day for about 7 minutes. They seem to be happy with that schedule, and I do see like things are growing. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. And this is my little tank. Nothing special. It's like yeah, people got fancier tanks than I do, but I put my nutrients in here, and this lasts about 4 days, about 4 waterings. Super easy to mix. That's why I have, you notice everywhere you go I have a table. It just makes it easy to sit down and mix your chemicals or nutrients. And isn't that cool? And this thing just waters itself. And then at the bottom I get carrots, radishes at the bottom. We've been eating all the radishes, so the first 2 towers we took all the radishes for a salad, and I've got to replant it. But no. In fact, I haven't had anybody criticize what I've done with my towers. They probably should. But the point is, try. And the reason I'm saying trying was because times are changing. So if you've always been one of them kids or people from the city, always lived in towns or just outside of town, and you got to realize we're having trouble with sorry about the wind, guys. We're having trouble with transportation and supply and demand issues, and so we may get into rationing. We may have trouble getting some of our favorite foods and some of the staple foods we always get. So why not learn how to do this? My concern was I wasn't doing anything for myself. Every time I wanted food, I'd drive over to Safeway, grocery store, and get what I want. And I'm thinking, what happens, and we kind of learned that last year with the toilet paper stuff, what happens if I go and the things on the shelf aren't there? I couldn't get Ragu's spaghetti sauce or paper and certain kinds of food, and there was a time that some of the meat was gone. And my solution, I'm not going to do meat here or meat birds yet, but I do eggs. And but I have been increasing my freezing storage capacity and learning how to freeze dry. And I'm learning a lot of new things. And I'm an old person and I'm learning new things. The point is, all of us probably need to change our ways a little bit. My way is not the perfect way. Mine is just one idea. For yours, I'm sure that you have different ideas that'll work for your property and your location and your climate. And have fun. I know real estate is really goofy right now as far as pricing. Houses are way overpriced everywhere, including here. And we're out in Tules a little bit, but If you lived in the city, you'll probably get really good numbers for your house, and you could purchase a place like this lower than what you sold your house and have some money in the bank to help build all this stuff, because you got to have a little bit of chunk of change available for equipment and buying lumber and things like that. So anyway, this is just a hurrah, guys, get out there and do it. Don't be intimidated. Yes, there'll be that 5 or 10% of critical people. Either block them or just say thank you for your valued information, and but there's always people like that. I don't know why it has to be that way. Those what do you call it, keyboard warriors. But what we want to see is your ideas, your enthusiasm, the fact that you're trying, and what you're learning, and share it with us. We would appreciate it. And guys, I hope that was a good talk. I hope it inspires you to try something, even if you live in an apartment or a townhouse or just outside the city. Maybe you have a little lot. Grow some stuff. Use the towers. Try the hydroponics. Super easy and really fun, and nothing is cooler than enjoying a meal at the dinner table that you grew yourself. So guys, thank you for listening. Have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world and help us grow. We appreciate it. Leave some comments below and say hello, guys. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye now. Our videos are made possible by RangerRob Poopy Bags, available at Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.